YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you guys with yet another J Talks Crypto. If you're brand new to my channel, hit the subscribe button as well as bell notification. I do my best each and every day to give you guys the topics in cryptocurrency. Guys, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Today we're gonna talk about some Bitcoin. We're gonna talk about some Toshi Coin, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. But before we do, I gotta let you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Just the homie Crypto J. We just talk about cryptocurrency. Just talking about Bitcoin and Toshi Coin today, two things that are trending, right? As you guys can see, total market cap down 0.20%, coming in at a 2.75, right? Fear Greed Index coming in at 27, Bitcoin coming in at an 84, and still sitting in this range, not doing much, right? Not having much volume at all. And this was kind of our problem last week, right? We were kind of lacking in volume and we just kept breaking down. So hopefully we're not going to have another breakdown. Again, we do have some key support here at this 84. We could be possibly creating a wedge here, right? But at the same time, on this 1 year chart, or yeah, on this 1 year chart too, we look like we might be seeing a breakdown into the weekend. Let's check it out though. Let's see what's going on, because it, again, could go either way, right? We could have some support here for sure, but as you guys can see, it just hasn't been much coming in today as far as buy volume. And unless things are going to start picking up tomorrow, I don't know. But usually we don't see a lot of price bump into the weekend. The weekly chart looking like we're like kind of slowing down, right, in volume. Interesting. We don't want to see slowed down in volume, because lack of volume is ultimately a lack of demand. But I don't think that there's a lack of demand for Bitcoin right now. I just feel like Bitcoin is being manipulated. And we see that because we have actually tracked these transactions on chain. We know who is selling right now, guys. It is retail selling right now. It is not big institutions, not big investors. Those are the people that are buying. Retail is selling right now. And again, the cycle is not completely broken yet. We can still pump off of this. If we do not pump off of this, I would expect probably a correction down to these lower ranges. This, right, 60, 68 range, and hopefully not lower than that, right? Hopefully we wouldn't want to see it go lower. Well, I mean, depends what you're looking for, right? If you like cheaper prices, if you're patient, if you can wait for a couple months, then you might like buying in this kind of range. But if this is difficult for you because you were over leveraged in the market, then that might be hard for you to be in the market of, and maybe might not even want to look at your portfolio for the next couple of months if we do decide we want to break down lower than this. If we want to retest this 80K range, in my opinion, if you're too much not sure how you feel about things with your portfolio, I would just not look for at least a couple months. Probably just like walk away and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna not make an emotional decision, because again, things can break down and still be perfectly intact for this rest of 2025 to be really good. Might see some cheaper prices. In my opinion, it would be great. I mean, I'm almost hoping that we can see some cheaper prices on a lot of this stuff, because again, it gives me time to accumulate projects that I like. And I'm always looking for cheaper prices on things like blue chips too, things like Ethereum, things like XRP, of course, things like Bitcoin. I'm looking for cheaper prices on all this stuff. Yeah, XRP. Solana also, but I think Solana could get a lot cheaper. I think Solana's going to get a lot cheaper actually, and I think that it's going to actually bring a lot of people into coins like Toshi actually, if Solana does decide it wants to crack down, because I just feel like people are tired of getting scammed on Solana. So they're going to look for projects that have big communities that have done well in the past, and I feel like they might be interested in Toshi. So we'll see if that's something that could happen. Again, Toshi's sitting on some key support here on the 1 day. We haven't seen a ton of price action. We're only down like 6% today, so not a ton happening on the Toshi charts. We are breaking down a little bit on the 12-hour, but again, just kind of sitting, waiting, I feel like, for Bitcoin to kind of go somewhere. So we'll see what happens with that. I want to know kind of what you guys feel like in the comment section. Definitely long on Toshi. Again, it's a project that I'm looking to dollar cost average into. I expect probably for Bitcoin to move first, and then, you know, these blue chip coins like the Ethereums, the XRPs, the Solanas to move. And then we'll probably see our meme coin cycle, where again, you're accumulating during these times of projects that you like as far as meme coins and things like that. I mean, you might do pretty well. We've seen that happen over and over. I mean, I was able to find SHIB, and then I found that off of Doge because I knew that Doge pumped and SHIB had an amazing community. They would do these raids and they were over on Twitter, super bullish. And I was like, you know, maybe these guys can do something. And then I remember they started getting their first listing and stuff like that. And then just started like talking about news in that community. And that's kind of really how the channel started, off of SHIB. We were one of the first channels to talk about SHIB, and that community absolutely exploded. After that, you saw a whole bunch of these other dog coins blowing up, right? You saw Bonk going crazy, getting listed on all these big exchanges. You watched Flocky do the same thing. You watch a lot of these coins do the same thing, right? And then I just feel like the space kind of moves like that. Like first it might be Bitcoin moving, and then it might be DeFi moving, right? You might see Ethereum moving, and you might see Solana and Avalanche and all these other big DeFi projects moving. And then you might see, you know, things like XRP and XLM moving some days. You might see like, I don't know, like you might see Decentraland and Sandbox and these type of projects moving, you know? So it just is what it is. Sometimes there's these different trends, and I feel like we've already seen this cat trend play out. A lot of people are talking about this cat trend being like the dog trend of the 2020 cycle. I think it does have some potential because, again, we're getting more people involved in cryptocurrency, and girls like cats too, guys. And Toshi's the coolest cat on base. So I feel like this is going to be something that will drive a lot of institutional or a lot of retail investors into it, because we're seeing, again, more and more people get into cryptocurrency. It's predominantly right now, it's like 86% of the people that watch my channel are males. So, that kind of tells you like, but at the same time, we're getting so many females now into cryptocurrency, and they're super educated on it. So it's awesome. We're seeing a lot of people like starting to be like, okay, I'm trying to make some money doing this, you know? So this is awesome. I love to see it. I love to see the space getting bigger. The space is still so small, in my opinion. The whole entire cryptocurrency market is smaller than Apple stock. So it's going to be volatile. It's going to be crazy, especially the smaller the market cap, the crazier it's going to be in terms of corrections and stuff like that. Like you have to get used to like 60 to 70% corrections. It's even going to happen even if Bitcoin goes up again. This coin will keep doing this, and all these coins will keep doing this. They will go up and they will go down. There will be a time where XRP will be down probably like 60% in a month. You know, same thing with Ethereum. Look at Ethereum in the whole year. In the past year, Ethereum is down 43%. These guys have not seen money in a year. They're down half their money the entire year, you know, and you still see these guys are still buying these things. So these billionaires, right? These billionaires are accumulating it, and you see Ethereum ETFs and stuff like that. You see retail panic selling. This is how market cycle is, guys. It is. It's a bunch of panic. It's a bunch of people freaking out. It's a bunch of budding up communities. It's a bunch of people losing hope. I told you it was going to be agonizing. I told you. And guess what? If it drops down further, it's going to hurt more. And that's the reality of it. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it hurts. But at the same time, when you just like dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, into projects that you believe in, that you feel like have longevity, and you're not over leveraging into them, you're not putting too much money into it, then you shouldn't be over emotional about things that you're looking at, right? I don't think that cryptocurrency is going to go to zero. I don't think that buying crypto is crazy. I don't think that buying meme coins right now is crazy. I don't think that buying these coins are crazy either. Because again, if we have some support at this 84 range and then Bitcoin does decide it wants to break up, ultimately, we really got to pick up in volume and get above like 89. Then we're going to probably see a huge boost in confidence. The fear greed index is probably going to shoot up a whole bunch, and we'll have an alt cycle, probably more than likely. A lot of these coins will perform. Not all of them will perform. A lot of these Solana poo-poo coins will not perform. But I think Toshi will perform nicely because it's on Coinbase. And Coinbase is going to be promoting these coins all the time. And as Toshi Coin pumps, people are going to get notifications on their phone saying, oh, Toshi Coin is up this percent, you know? So It may take time, you know, the recovery may take time. I'm patient on the recovery. I could wait a couple months. I'm down to, you know, be dollar cost averaging. I already said that before. Reality, I've been telling you guys, is that we could see a correction. So it's not for sure though. It's not for sure, right? We're still sitting in limbo right now. Right now it is Friday at about 4 o'clock. So we'll see, right? Bitcoin needs to start picking up in volume. We need a wedge here. Would be a bullish case scenario. But if we don't get that wedge, again, we are creating higher, lower highs here, and we could be dropping down, possibly even creating like some kind of shoulder, head, shoulder, and just seeing a lot of, you know, sideways consolidate. It's similar kind of like to what we were seeing here, right? We've seen the same thing happen here, March to August, and a lot of people were thinking that this was the top of our cycle. It was like a similar type of thing, and you were seeing so much of the same thing, a whole bunch of countries and billionaires and all these people getting into crypto. So again, I don't think that the cycle is broken. I don't think that, I do think that we still have time in this cycle. I think that this correction needed to happen. I mean, you could see we were at 66 and then like we shot all the way up here with Bitcoin. And then, you know, again, corrections are needed for stable growth. You know, things can't go forever. It just can't happen. So things need to cool off. People need to be able to sell. They need to take profit, right? People were way up on a lot of projects in cryptocurrency. And so as soon as they start seeing those sales, a lot of these big guys, a lot of these big whales, you know, they're watching their accounts go down a lot more than a lot of people on the channel. They're watching their accounts go down like hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. And they're panicking and they're selling even. And again, these big billionaires and these countries are taking advantage of all these big guys. Also, all these people that are shorting the market, all these people that are long on the market. It's not going to be easy to make money either way. Like we've been not knowing if we're going to break up or break down. All of this right here is people getting wrecked, like absolutely wrecked, right? So again, this is like a swingers market, in my opinion. That's what I kind of said. Even before, like back here, I was saying the same thing. I was like, oh, we kind of entered like a swingers market. A lot of people are going to be swing trading in this period, also accumulating. I feel like the smart people would be accumulating during this time because I just feel like time in the market beats timing the market. Like all these big billionaires always talk about like just not panicking and stuff like that. So, and they're going to manipulate prices. So this is the easiest space for them to do it in. Again, we're smaller than the stock Apple, and they're used to doing this with the entire stock market. So, you know, like this is nothing. This is like easy mode for them. So you got to just understand that you're playing by somebody else's rules in this. It's not retail that's pushing the price because retail is the one that's selling right now. And these institutions are just accumulating and manipulating the price, because they're holding most of the Bitcoin. Who do we know that owns most of the Bitcoin? It's like countries. It's Dubai. It's the United States. It's China. And these people are doing things like creating reserves now and doing all these things to create infrastructures in their countries for cryptocurrency. And so I feel like that's bullish. And they're probably driving the prices down with a bunch of FUD so that they can get it for cheaper. That's probably what I would think. But again, that's just me being crazy and having my foil hat on, I guess. But I feel like right now, you know, again, these prices don't come all the time. I know that the bear trends are kind of ugly sometimes. Again, they're painful. But these prices also don't come all the time. This is like, you know, the best time to be actually engaged in the market. And again, I don't think that people that are accumulating right now in this 84 zone are crazy. I think that that's totally fine. Like, I think if it could drop down, which I do think that there's a good chance that we might need to see, you know, a little bit longer of a correction. I'm thinking closer to like 4 to 5 months. But if we do decide we want to break down off this 84 range, but if that's the case, I mean, I'm going to just view that as like, cool, I got time to like get more bags of things that I want. Because again, I feel like in 4 to 5 months, that one thing about FOMO, one thing about greed, right? See, people will deal with the pain until the pain gets too much and then they'll sell. But that FOMO, that greed, that will drive a market fast, very fast. So once this market starts moving again, a lot of people that sold out, they're going to want to get back into the market. And, you know, again, they'll have less bags and, you know, they'll be probably buying at a higher price because they're trying to time the market, right? There's a lot of people even that say like, oh, I'm going to sell this and buy into that. That's not a good idea. I always tell people that's not a good idea. Again, it's not financial advice, but I've seen people do that so many times. I've done that in my past, and it's just not a smart idea because what you're doing is you're just selling something because you feel like you've been down in it and you're buying something that has demand over here. But then when that thing has a sell off, you're going to be seeing that your other project is now running again. And then you're going to be running back to that project. You're buying back in. You're like, oh, I knew it. Why did I do that? And we watched this happen a lot with Solana. I feel like the Solana blockchain was really like kind of like a good test of greed because people would literally be so early on a project. Like they would buy into a project in like the first day. And then like they would literally be like, oh, I'm so bullish on this project. I'm going to hold this for a long time. And then they would be selling it like over the weekend. Like what the, you know, like it was just like such a, it was so funny. But again, I don't think that projects like Toshi are going to have a hard time finding volume once Bitcoin decides it wants to pick up because people will know of this coin. They'll know where to find this coin. It's on Coinbase. It's getting on bigger exchanges. So that's good. You know, it's not a Solana poo-poo coin, one of these billions of coins that has went up and then went to zero. These guys are going to get tired of losing money. They're going to see that that's not a sustainable ecosystem if they have rug pulls constantly. Like it's to the point, guys, where I'm like, it's very hard to like determine like a legitimate Solana project that would be something that these big websites and exchanges would even want. So, I mean, I'm checking contracts and stuff like that, and I'm just like, sheesh, like some of these projects are like ridiculous. But again, a lot of people are not checking those contracts. A lot of people in the Solana blockchain, they're going to get scammed. And in my opinion, once they're done getting scammed, they're going to be looking for these base coins. And I feel like base is just starting out. I feel like a lot of these base coins will actually do well. I'm actually getting really into base. I feel like base and pulse are going to do really well. I like both those blockchains. I also like Sui. So again, those are like kind of the things that I'm paying attention to. And again, yeah, I'm going to keep talking about the projects that are of interest to a lot of people. And again, a lot of people holding Toshi, over 550,000 people, and Coinbase picking it up. So I like it. Also their Twitter over here too, getting pretty big. They're getting to close to around 110,000. So again, I'll be interested to see on this next leg just how big Toshi can get in followers over here on Twitter. And yeah, as a matter of fact, guys, if you're not yet following me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter at JTalksCrypto, because we talk a whole lot of Toshi, as well as right now Toshi is in a poll, and I think there's like 1,600 votes on that poll. So if you guys want Toshi to win that, definitely do that. Also, engagement is key, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like, that comment section, hit it up. Type Toshi or something. Let us know how bullish you are on Toshi, because that lets the algorithm know that this is a topic of importance and that they should push it out to more people. The only way that we can get more reach with Toshi is to engage as a community. So, of course, guys, I appreciate you. I'll catch you next one. Peace.